Alright. I made a... what was it? A Muriel PE Mabinogi. An intensely pink pair of handguns. That's a thing you can do if you want. I don't know. I'm still sticking with Mabinogi for right now. It's not like... it's not like I have literally nothing to do. It's just, god damn. They really didn't need to reduce all the grinds to 1%. But on the other hand, it feels good to finally have, like, the warrior mage stuff behind me so I can start working on the skills that I liked. Not to say I don't like magic, it kind of rules. The tests to achieve Dan ranks for the magic, though? Fuck. Screw all that. It says, I gotta say, I do sort of actually approve of the grind elimination. I mean, I think I know why they did it. I just think they cut back too hard. If they'd reduced the grind by like half, I would have been like, alright, thumbs up, good choice. But, I mean, they really trivialized so much of it. Blonded gives you some ridiculous freaking weapons too. She gave me a chain blade that's like twice as good as the cardinal chain blade I had. To give you a metric, they all come all pre-upgraded, even with at least one upgrade stone on there. Sheesh. I know it's boomery of me, it's just like... just remember when... we'll just have to remember the days when having a mastered talent was, like, an actual sign of prestige, of a lot of work invested, and not, you know, 2 hours. We'll just have to let the past be the past, I guess. But it says maybe now I can actually get alchemy big. Well, now would be the time. I mean, on top of the greatly reduced grinds, there's even an event going on right now to give you, like, double training in pretty much everything, as if you'd even need that. But anyway. How about them Gradius 3 Vigima games? This is gonna be, what, attempt 8 on Zeor TV, I think? Here again is my preface, in case anybody doesn't really know what's going on here, which I don't think is the case, said he to his one viewer. For as much as I played Gradius 3 as a youth, I didn't own it. I think like we borrowed it from somebody or rented it a bunch of times or whatever the case. Played a good amount of it in any case. Never beat it. So all of these Gradius 3 attempts have been no save states, like, for glory. One of these days, I'm gonna beat Gradius 3 legit. Will today be that day? Ugh. It says, I still appreciate having taught you how to swoosh options. Yeah. In my defense, what you said the first time was, what button is it to make them swoosh? And I was, like, that's why I was skeptical of everything you were saying. I was like, what? Buttons? Well, I already know what all the buttons do. What do you want about? Total mind blow. Do you know about the, like, the warps and the secret levels, though? Apparently not even my brother knew about those. Right, I did some experimenting previously. Hawkwind's still the best missile, double doesn't really matter, I never use it. E-laser, I was experimenting with the orbit option last time, but I wasn't a huge fan. I think I'm gonna stick with formation option, it feels more natural to me. Gotta have reduce. Sure, give me the burn all my lives for options. Alright, here we go. This is gonna be the one, I feel it in my bones. I never get tired of hearing this game. I've been on like a real Super NES nostalgia kick lately. I feel like I don't know what I want to get into. I gotta get that Star Fox EX working, maybe do that next week. Can't write it out, said he had it working fine in Super NES 9X. I think I have like probably like a frickin' 1998 build of that. Maybe see if I can update that, see what we get. Wow, that was slick. Okay. It says, I do appreciate how orbit option and E-laser lets you melee the enemies, basically. Kind of. It's not a good strategy, it sort of works. I'm kind of still not used to the E-laser. Like, I'm used to Gradius 3 being super spammy. Like, B shoot all always. I'm not used to a situation where I'm only sometimes shoot, but shoot very good when shoot. Speaking of shooting very good, I look forward to getting good at gun skills in Mabinogi. Yeah, I don't know, I guess it's not that ruined. Like, I'm still doing things. There's still a whole bunch of story content for me to catch up on, too. A couple of generations since I last played. Yellow time. But I'm gonna get real good at skills and shit before I do that, I think. Like, if the whole point of this update is to abruptly become the best Militian you've ever been, then fine. It's time to become Ultra Zeronius. See, I'm already wishing I had taken Shield Restore instead of the option thing. It's fine, I'll be fine. Nerd. I did actually find one of the bonus stages last time. Well, I say fine, I mean I looked it up. I died there because it's kind of a bastard. But I think I might try that again, because I'm curious to see what happens if you survive it. Okay, good. I already shaved off my other hit there, so just get my tiny back on. God damn it. The blue ones always fuck you up. Okay, there we go. I don't know when I also started playing on normal difficulty like an absolute maniac. Now, last episode I kept flying into the terrain here and dying. Okay. Yeah, right there I basically relied on the E-laser as like a melee tactic. all these years. Like, I was this many years old when I found out the E-laser in this game is incredible. Like, right there. How did I know how to do that? Shoot him. Oh, alright. Man, you know what I just remembered? Tomorrow's my birthday. That's stupid. Who still has birthdays in this day and age? That also means probably not a ton of streaming next week, because, I think I'm going down to South Carolina for Thanksgiving. And I'm probably gonna want to do that, like, before at least Thursday, maybe Wednesday. Like, I might be zooming over there on Tuesday. I don't know. Kinda don't want to be there for a greatly extended period of time, because it's real Fox Newsy around there, but... Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. And I know at least one thing that I need to dodge. This is so wild. Again, with these, like, big... Oh, no, the stuff that you gotta shoot through a lot. These are just pointers. And then that up there is a one-up. And then a whole bunch of bullshit's about to happen, so stay real close to the middle over here. Like that. That killed me. Wasn't cool. Get my option on. Don't do it. See, I gotta be honest with you, that's some shit game design right there. That, like, you will absolutely die unless you know specifically where you're going. That's bad. Even for 1990 whatever, that's just bad game design. And this is the worst place in the game to have died. We're just starting over. Like, I've been there before. It's absolute hell to survive that. Faster to just start the whole damn game over. Alright. Reduce, just give me the full barrier. There we go. And here we go. This is gonna be the one. Doing this tool-assisted speedrun style, just, like, stick to the right edge of the screen. God, you know what? Now that I think about it, tool-assisted speedrun of this game would just be like a masterclass in lag reduction. Like, how would you even reduce that much lag? You have to do everything you can to prevent anything from getting on the screen. The thing is, even, like, your own lasers lag the screen half the time. Splat. Alright, I must install it. Yay. I used Insmallin in a company email the one time, like at work. I don't remember what I was talking about in Smallining. I totally said in Smallin. My boss replied just like to the email just to me because in Smallin is a very cromulent word. I'm like, yeah, this guy gets it. He was a good boss, man. There are things I miss about that job. The job I left it for didn't treat me that well. Anyway, this isn't me. Anyway, how are you? I mean, the big problem was I think that job just wasn't paying me enough. I think I made more as a factory grunt than I did at that job. I'm thinking screw that bonus level for right now. I might try dicking around with that some other time, but for now I've made an attempt at it. I wonder if that bonus level has a boss. Ooh, your mother. Sometimes I forget that you can't be casual about this game. You need to be switched the fuck on to survive in Gradius 3. Shield takes priority above all else. In Smallin. I still keep in touch with... I was, at least for a while, keeping in touch with somebody from out chat. Let's check in. See how they're doing. Schust. Good. Oh, I screwed up. No problem. Yeah, the more I get used to using the E-laser, it's pretty much god tier. I think I tried like the spiral laser on the previous stream and it seemed decent as well. Like maybe better than the twin laser. Alright, let's start getting these again. This is a good time to have E-laser. Oh yeah, look at it go. Shoot more, please, missiles. Okay. Hold on. Ooh, okay, got lucky on that one. We're good. Bubble brain. I don't like this. There we go. Okay, hang on, itchy. Parts. There we go. Here we go, this is gonna be the one. Oh yeah. Eyewitness. It says, I used to watch my friend and his cousin attempt to beat this while I did homework. I've still never seen the final level, even. Like, not only have I not been to it, I just plain haven't seen it. Pretty sure I know what it is, though. the music of this game. Can't get tired of it. Alright, now we're on. Okay. Absolute fucker mode, engage. Zero says, I'm like 99% sure the only way I ever beat it was with Game Genie. Ah. So I feel like I'm not even just fighting for myself here anymore. There's a lot on the line here. He says, if games didn't have good music back in the day, people just wouldn't buy them. I mean... there's an argument to be made that the gameplay is the most important part, like always, but I mean, it is valid for otherwise mediocre games to be good because of, like, presentation, too, you know? Excuse me. Of course, I mean, Konami back when was like Capcom back when. I mean, like, they made it look easy. All their games had good sights and sounds. Remember when Konami did stuff? Well... see, this is a part where having the E-laser instead of something spammy is a bit harrowing. Okay, yeah, see, like that. I'm not sure if I was supposed to survive that. It's fine, maybe. Oh yeah. I'm not putting enough faith in the E-laser here. It's got me covered. Whoa. Okay. Right, I think last time I tried the lower route, and I felt like it was actually a little bit smarter. Because if you go the highway, like I usually do, then a whole bunch of stuff is flying at you from, like, the bottom of the screen that you can't really do anything about. This is one of the, less severe shoot through this stuff challenges in the Gradius series. It is interesting that inert terrain also scrubs some charge off the E-lasers. That's more better. That's how you want it. Oh yeah, that's much smoother. Like, on screen or not, be damned. You're taking the high road through there. Those guys are gonna be flying way up from down there to harass you. Hold B to win. These guys are a throwback to Gradius 1, I believe. Hang on a sec here. Where's my, yeah, hang on, stand by a sec. I gotta get up. Okay, I'm back. I feel like one of the problems with this format, which is to say, I've only been playing Gradius 3 on Fridays, and not even on, like, an actually weekly basis. It's been pretty off and on. Is that I think I repeat a lot of my stream talking points. Simply because I don't remember if I've already said them or not. But I mean, I do that over the course of one stream anyway, so... This just isn't even fair. Yeah, this is like about as easy as the game gets right here. And still, these guys shoot a lot on this difficulty. I should play more UN Squadron. God, that's a good game. Different from a lot of schmoops in that, like, you actually have, like, a health bar in that game instead of, like, you get hit, you explode. Apparently, even the arcade version of UN Squadron had that. Surprisingly generous. UN Squadron has the distinction of, I think, being the only game I've streamed 3 separate times. Only one of them, I believe, is on the YouTube. Maybe. But it says you should give Gunstar Heroes a try. Yeah, you're right. I really should. People have mentioned that before. Oh, Clavis. Okay. Easy now. That was hairy. I keep forgetting. What's Gunstar Heroes Genesis? It is, okay. I shall have to give it a look. You know what? I did play Zero Wing. Those of you who are as old as I am may remember, like, the first meme ever. The all your base are belong to us. That's what Zero Wing was. It was a decent game. It didn't really bring anything like revolutionary to the table for the genre, but it had a really good. I say really good. It had a pretty solid soundtrack. It was cool. Man. Like, it bothered me that it kept showing up on, like, internet hilarity sites, like, worst games ever made lists, because of its extremely Englishy intro. I'm like, no, it really wasn't a bad game, it was fine. If anything, the English only made it funnier. Ray says, I made a Zero Wing reference at work and said, you probably won't even get that one. That meme came out in 2001. They said I wasn't even born then. Yeah. I think that came up earlier this week, the you know you're old when bit. The fact that I'm keeping the company of some people who I think were born in, like, the same year A Link to the Past came out. Hang on a sec. My wrist is bothering me. See above, old. That might be fortuitous, that blue thingy right there. Shoost. Doesn't work on them. I wasn't sure if it would or not. Splat. Nice. The I've had a couple of pretty good, like, release the E-Laser just a second early moments in this stream so far. It's just, this guy doesn't have dental either. This guy's. What's coming up next? Fire? Fire. I always love entering the fire stage. Like, the visuals and the music of it are so memorable. Konami loves their fire arches. They use those in a lot of games. Those were even in Bucky O'Hare, NES. Another thing which I streamed. That was like a proper Hardcore Friday stream. Not familiar with Darius Gaiden. Speaking of situations in the game where I'd rather not have the E-Laser. Taito, huh? Oh, Clayton Raven, Joyven, Raven. Yeah, okay. What did I even just do? I feel like I've talked about Abadox during one of these streams before. Like, somebody saw Life Force, like the Gradius game where everything is meat, and said, I could do that, but grosser. And so Abadox is just like a friggin', like, organ-themed... okay. Schmoop. That apes Life Force pretty unsubtly, and it's, like, published by Milton Bradley Games. But it seems like it was not terrible. No, I hate it. Yeah, that goes much smoother with the twin lasers. This guy, I think, is not even vulnerable until his second head gets on screen. The sentences video games make us say. I never get tired of that. You can almost tell what's going on through all this. Uh-oh, get ready to dodge. Get extra ready to dodge because my hitbox is twice as big as usual. Not this again. Actually, this is favorable. This is good. Yes, this again. Beautiful. Okay. All those lives. All of those ill-fated lives. Einhander. This was a popular genre back when, huh? I remember riding trad on the Super NES. That was very basic. Not to say basic is even necessarily a bad thing in this genre, I mean... Again, Zero Wing was fine and it didn't really do anything outrageously, though. It kinda did. I remember you could get, like, extra... Not quite attachments, but... orbiting whatevers and... I don't know. I feel like I recognize the name Einhander. Fun fact, Einhander means one-hander. See also as Whitehander, which is a type of kangaroo. The music here seems to have no idea how hard you're fighting for your life. too. You're not usually watching the backgrounds in this game, but they're nice. Nine-hander was a PS1 shmup. Ship had a little grabber on it. That would be probably why it's called nine-hander. Because of your one-hander. Grab weapons off of enemies. That does sound pretty cool. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna start writing these down. Like, no bull. I could make like a segment out of this. Let's play some other schmoops. Okay, so not this, because that's not even what I thought it was. Gunstar, Heroes, Einhander. What else did you mention? Darius Gaiden. Wait, calling it Darius is a little unsubtle, isn't it? Thought of this amazing original game concept called Gradius. Darius Gaiden is also Saturn. Ugh. Not as if to say Saturn. I think it was fine. It says in trying to play, you know, legitimate Sega Saturn things in this day and age. They never really did figure that one out so good as far as I know. I don't know, I haven't checked in a while. Plant. This has got to be like the scariest plant. Yes! One-cycled it. I'm kind of looking around in places and trying to spot where there might be warps. I have no idea how anybody could possibly have ever figured them out. Where, again, the game design flavor is if you don't already know, your ass is dead. Like, the only way to have found half of these things out must have been to fly into them and see if you explode or not. Apparently there's a hidden one in the high-speed stage. In one of the many dead ends. If you follow a specific route or something. Okay. It says it was also PS1, okay. I don't know if there are much differences in the versions. Between Sega Saturn and PS1, probably not that much, but, I mean, that's a very generalized guess. Alright, here we go. Lagging the screen on purpose. With my lasers, this is a survival tactic. Whoa! Shouldn't have gone for that. But I did. Okay. Yeah, speaking of neat backgrounds, oh jeez. Okay. Frig! Not good. My shield. Alright. This is fine. Watch out for the blue balls. Eh. Also lasers. Okay. That's all I need. Well, okay, ideally also the... Yeah, there we go. Whoa! Dang it, Bobby. Okay. No problem. I appreciate all the nods to previous Gradius games in this game. This guy, again, I think was a boss from Life Force. Or Salamander. And slash or Salamander. Shoost. There we go. This guy comes from behind, yeah. And he got swoosed by his tentacles. Yeah. I love this music track, though. This is such a good boss theme. Or a crystalline boss. I really thought I was going to take a hit right there. Who are the bad guys anyway? These guys are apparently the forces of an evil space meat monstrosity called Bacterion. And I think that's about all the story there really is in the Gradius universe. Gradius is our home world, I believe. Wow! Okay, Zeor, how did you do that? Simple. Being a stone-cold badass is how. I bet both of my viewers love that. I get too meta with my stream commentary, I always do, I can't help it. Okay, no problem. Just get in there, you fucker. Alright, there was one hit. There we go. I actually had to time that one a little bit. It says, E-Laser kills 99.9% of Bacterion on contact. Let's hope. Or do you have to, like, let it sit for a few hours? Allowed to air dry, or wipe clean. Okay, oh! Ah, yeah. Like one of those 2 minutes of wiping, where like it seems to leave a film on there that you have to like scrub off. Yeah, I was a housekeeper at a nursing home during college, you know, that was... Yeah, that sure was. Look at all these live, okay, oof. Almost his last one. I think even this shield will not save me from like a kamikaze collision like that. A bullet, sure. We are approaching, I think it's like, I guess, I don't know if it's the back half of this level or if it's considered a separate level. We're getting pretty close to as far in this game as I've ever been. Fuck. Well, that's gonna make the rest of my night worse. Alright. Speed up sucks. Okay, sure, why not? Why didn't I start with it? Alright. Sure. Alright. Are you sure the Vic Viper can't deploy with, you know, some weapons on it? Why does it start on, like, get out and push impulse power? This is Gradius 3 is a momentum game. If you lose your momentum, it all falls apart. Yep, I've talked about how pretty much all Konami games of the era were exactly that. Missile faster, you tit. Thank you. Explode, please. Anus. Well, I might have hit a checkpoint. Yeah, lucky me. This is much better. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, this game fucking hates it when you die right here. Like, how dare you? Nah, we're starting over. You don't even save this shit, so nobody cares. Alright. Whose bright idea was this Gradius 3 bullshit anyway? Honestly. It says you should do orbit E-laser. Yeah, it deserves more attention, I suppose. I didn't like it as much as Formation, but we'll give it another spin. Get it? Spin. Haha. Let's set a new high score. Score to beat, right there. Top center. I've done this part so many times that, like, I actually expect the sound cues, like, as part of the music, you know what I mean? Like, that's exactly when the missile is supposed to happen. Anus, no problem. Sure, option first, why not? This stage in the game, it's fine. What's your favorite missile, Ray? Do you have one? You also pro Hawkwind? I keep forgetting, I want to, like, I should start, like, getting backgrounds for my streams instead of just the red tiles. Ray says absolutely Hawkwind, alright. Trying to be open-minded to alternative technologies at this point. Since I was the only one who didn't know E-Laser was incredible. Speaking of which, there we go. My ship looks enormous. I got so used to reduce. There are a couple of weapons that only come in the prefab builds, yeah. But I don't think they're that great. Please? I must install it. Okay, there we go. I was hoping there would be cases where the orbit option would just, like, stack up several E-lasers that hit nearly simultaneously and just do, like, preposterous damage, but I think they get, like, a tiny bit of iframe to prevent that. Whoa. Whoa. That sucked. Alright. Yeah, see... Again, maybe it's my failure to adapt to the new weapon, but, like, formation option, that wouldn't have happened. I'm gonna go for the bonus stage again. So I think I at least have a better idea what to avoid. Yeah, it takes a little bit more focus to use the rotation thing if you're using E-laser, because, like, you gotta wait for it to be in the right spot before you let it go. On the other hand, it's very good in close quarters like this. Yeah, I was supposed to just go, like, more towards the center of the screen instead of over to the right. Which I guess is something that a better honed Gradius instinct would have known, but... still. Sheesh. Shoot, please. Yeah. Speed. Satisfying. Yeah. Don't you do it. Don't do it. It's a shame I wasn't able to beat Smash TV on stream. Like, I swear I've done it. Couldn't prove it. Yeah, it does have a smaller profile for dodging the option grabber. And swoosh. You know, I bet I would have found the black hole in Star Fox, like, really scary as a kid, actually. It's pretty spooky. Same with the other secret later on, where you gotta, like, fly into a bird to get to it. That shit's weird. It says, I don't think I've seen it. It's real spooky. It's pretty good. Yeah, points. That's what we're here for. Points. Shit. Alright, this is a really good configuration for carving through shit like that. Yep, here we are. There we go. This, by the way, is another nod to Gradius 1. Just this whole level. I think it was like level 4 or something. Just from watching long plays or whatever. So yeah, is there a boss here now? Nope. So where am I? or when am I? This does look an awful lot like the start, doesn't it? Better not be the start. Strong Bad's cool game for attract. No, this isn't the start. These guys wouldn't be here. Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people taught me about arcade game kill streams. Kill screens. Which is to say cases where, like, the game is forced to blow you up because your score was too high. Alright, so that wasn't much of a warp at all. It was just kind of an alternative path. As a matter of fact, it added time on. That's like right before the end of level 2. Anyway, I looked into that a little bit. Sadly, they're not like as spooky as I hoped. Like, I was kind of hoping kill screens would be like weird and ominous. I think Galaga was an interesting one because it just plain breaks and just like draws gibberish all over the screen. But cases like where you max out the score counter, so the game is like unable to keep giving you scores, so it's just like, alright, I think I'll just die instead. Like, somebody get this guy away from the cabinet, he needs a job. Actually fortuitous that I took that hit because I want to restore my smallishness. Yeah, the Big Viper looks so huge! Just a giant hitbox. I thought about maybe trying to stream Julius mode in Aria of Sorrow, just for a lark. That's not what I meant to do at all. It's probably fine. Roll with it. Erroneous button pushing. Actually, half thinking about asking this person I met on Mabinogi the other night if I should join their clan, their guild. There's apparently like a guild event of some sort going on. You get rewards for doing things with your guild. I was thinking about reaching out saying, hey, convince me. Reach me, make me your brother. Alright. Just one hit, please. Yeah, let's just try this out. Okay. A little bit dangerous. Oh yeah, this works fine. Nice. I was worried about one dropping in on my head, but no, I just saw one blow up. There. We're good. There we go. Good at video games is my middle name. Zeor Herbert, good at video games, Danger Pants. Seriously, I got that joke. I thought you might. Herbert's something my mom calls me, but she has deranged pet names for pretty much everything, so... Doesn't really stem from any of... It's as if saying nonsensical syllables for no apparent reason is a hereditary trait. I wonder how much music my mom has memorized in terabytes. Like, somebody figured out, like, the storage capacity of a human brain at some point. I'm not sure how they did. Like, allegedly. I don't remember what it was. Is Tourette's hereditary? I don't think so. Yeah. Toos. He says no, Zero meant turrets. I got a turret from my dad. I got like Mega Man Sprite comic vibes from that a little bit. Oh, hell no. Doesn't matter how many times you run into these things, you hate them. There it goes. No. Yeah, this is a pretty good setup here. I definitely get the appeal of orbit option. Maybe kill it behind you. No, I'm pretty sure it's impervious to everything. I mean, citation needed as usual, but pretty sure you can't kill those things with anything. So, with everything going on with Twitter, and I feel like I'm just not even really going to speak at length about that, but I'm probably getting off Twitter soon. I actually don't remember off the top of my head what the solution that I have lined up instead of it is. It's pretty much like the mission statement is basically Twitter, except not by or for assholes. Looks, I mean, fine. I'm not really like big into social media in general. I'm just talking about like stream announcement platforms. Like that's really all I use Twitter for, except the odd joke, which usually goes ignored by everybody. But who knows, maybe using like a smaller platform for my stream announcements might actually get me more attention, in a way. Because anything you put on Twitter is a drop in the ocean. Hashtags are the only way you can get noticed. And that's only by people browsing specifically for that hashtag. I saw that. What? Did you see that illegal shoot that the woman did right there? I honestly half wonder if Twitter will survive long enough for me to stop using it. It wouldn't surprise me at all if, like, on Monday, Twitter just plain stopped. Well, yeah, that seems about right. God damn. such interesting patterns of lag and slowdown you can create. Like you can see a distinct tipping point where the lasers get too big and the game's like, what are you doing? Right, as I recall, this was actually Konami's first Super NES game. I think I went over that when I went over the Konami code a couple of streams ago. There is a ROM hack of this game that actually fixes all the lag and slowdown, but man, it's kind of hard enough as it is. Alright, here we go. It actually might be a good thing to have this option pattern in this case, so I have some option in front of me as compared to only fanning out on the sides. Oh yeah, I feel much safer. You get out of here. Oh. Nothing around here drops the power-up things. Alright, no problem. Eat that one. Small. Oof. Damn, I'm good. Alright. Ringos, go melee ship. No problem. Oh, that was quick. See, coming down from the top of the screen. He's coming from behind. Danger. Oh. Oh. Something extremely similar happened to that on a prior attempt. Except I survived that time. Shit. Oh, fuck off. I was with the blue ones. Alright. I think for this particular situation, speed up is a low priority. I need more shoot. I agree. Arrgh. I was committing a logic error here. It's fine, it worked out. What a shitty way to die, I can't... Wow. Super likes that one a lot. Wow, really? Here we go. This is how you want it. Damn it. You know what was a neat Super NES game? Pilot Wings. Loved Pilot Wings as a kid. Okay, we're good. Love Pilot Wings 64 too, but like... it has more of a phobia trigger element to it. Yeah. Well... oh, for crying out crud. Everything's so fast now. That was a bitch death right there. I wonder how many other Twitch channels have the Mega Man what face emote. I know Vinesauce did for a little while. I kinda didn't really mean to take double, but I thought I was about to croak. You heinous anus. You, I hate you. I hate all of you. I will fight all of you with hate. Please. Oh my god, why do you shoot so much? Stop it. They don't all need to shoot that much. Holy tit. Have I mentioned how fucking dumb it is that this piece of shit Vic Viper starts like on like tricycle power? You're in space, there's not even any resistance. I mean, I think you're in space. I don't know. Well, Gradius doesn't really make all that much sense. I'm gonna try and continue here. Yeah, so what were the ones that... I think Spread Bomb and Photon Torpedo are the exclusives. I think I was experimenting with two way back and I found it okay. Let me give that another spin. Just for the sheer shits and giggles. I kind of forgot all about this. I should probably not have forgotten all about that. You know, back when I had lives. Just gotta be incredibly good at the game. Really simple. All you have to do is shoot all the bad things and not get shot. Easy. Yeah, no, I don't think this missile is as good. Like, it's cool that it shoots two at once. I actually probed that corner to see if there was a warp there. It was a pretty good probe. There isn't a warp there. It's alright, got to a checkpoint. Hell ass is pretty much how I feel about all of this going on right now, yeah. Oh, you do it. Speaking of impervious to everything, what are these plants made out of? We should be studying these plants to make Vic Vipers out of them. Because I don't know if you noticed, but the armoring on this thing sucks. Oh, really? Come on, one more? No? Hell ass. Those are the Plants Impossible burgers are made. I don't have any objection to plant-based meats. I think they are, you know, for, like, planetary survival reasons, a good thing, but... Like, and I've, you know, I've had one or two of them. They're fine. They don't agree with me. My colon knows what's going on. It's not having any of it. Then again, my colon is famously argumentative. Outlander! Alright, that went pretty well. Ray says, I think they're an incredible idea, but they need to be cheaper than meat to be competitive. Yeah, I mean, it still has a way to go. Like, they and electric cars, like, the things that we're going to need to, like, actually have a future. They're developing slowly. I think we should be placing more stock in lab-grown meats. Like, they keep finding out that you don't even really need the animal. You can just, like, cellularly stimulate the creation of, like, meat. Which sounds, you know, dystopian and frightening, but, I mean, if it can be done, like, clean, like, colossal greenhouse, like, reductions, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's probably gotta be the sustainable way to go. Why they so fast? Alright, I need to focus up. The lab slab steak. Not to mention humane, I mean... not to be the bleeding heart type, but I mean, it is, like, sad that we need to do that to animals to survive as a species. Like, really, the whole planet would be better off if we could get freaking lab meat to a sustainable point. I definitely ain't saying humans need to go vegan. Screw that. We are omnivores because we need complex diets, like we need to eat meat. But anyway, let's not get too soapboxy here. This is still about me sucking a Gradius 3. I mean, the best way the animals have survived is by being useful to humans, says Fred. Wow. Never thought of that, but you're not wrong. Well, I mean, that's why, like, the cow is the most populous organism on the planet. They're big and dumb and delicious, I mean. Alright, here we go. Burger, exactly. I've got this stage pretty well figured out. Having said that, I'm about to die. But no, I remember when this stage seemed borderline insurmountable, but god damn it. See it? I mean, in my defense, I got shot in the butt. It's not a navigation problem. Like, I know what I'm doing in this level. I just also had an enticingly shootable ass. Alright. Man, speaking of bad places to die, though. Alright, good enough. I got my E-laser. Okay. Right. He's a lot faster when you're not slowing the whole screen down with the lasers. Yeah, okay, good. There we go. Okay, no problem. Everything's good here. I'm fine. We had a slight weapons malfunction, but we're fine now. How are you? Get it. Listen, you fucker. Listen, you fuck. Couldn't even get the out. We'll always remember Zeor by his final words. Fuh. God damn it. Doc says, when there's only one, is it a Gradii instead of a Gradius? I think it's Gradi-me. He says, I think that's a grade. I hate this. We're all fired. Like, I'm not even gonna just blame... No, I'm participating this time. This is all of us. We're terrible. I'm gonna go for something truly stupid here. Alright. Okay, that was stupid. I didn't mean that stupid. Fuck. Alright. Never mind. My stupid strategy isn't gonna work out. Doc says perfect. I mean, I did say truly stupid. Truth in advertising. That was... It doesn't get much dumber. Yeah. I'm never joking about how stupid I'm about to be. Oh, fuck up. Yeah, I can't even use the slowdown against this guy. I have to, like, actually try and be good at the game. Which is working out great for me so far. So if you're tuning in late, I got through the first bonus warp level. It's not a shortcut. As a matter of fact, it's a long cut. But it gets you more lives and points, so I guess that's neat. This background must have looked so good. Good. On a CRT screen. That'll do it. That's an all the way game over there. Well, hell. Alright, so it's 10:30. I usually wrap up at about 11. Half an hour is not long enough for a full Gradius game. It's like, at this point I couldn't win, even ideally, I don't think. So I'm trying to think, what should I do? I feel like I got a good energy going here, so I'm not sure if I want to wrap up. I want to see, well, maybe I switch gears and do something else wacky, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know, I just had like a Super NES itch in my system for a little while here. Meh. Yeah, hold on, I know what to do. Yeah, I know what to do. Why did I even think about this? And I'll probably have to resize you, yeah. In AD 2101. War was beginning. What happened? Somebody set up us the bomb. A lot of people say set us up the bomb. No, it's not that elegant. We get signal. What? Main screen turn on. It's you. Cats. How are you, gentlemen? All your base are belong to us. He said the thing from the internet. You are on the way to destruction. What you say? You will have no chance to survive, make your time. Really though, this is good music. Captain! Take off every zig. So Elton, if you've got a zig, you better take that shit off. You know what you're doing. Move, zig. For great justice. Doc says Shatterhand. Oh, wow! Seizures. Okay, I forgot to give her the photosensitivity warning on that one. What is Shatterhand? Is that also a shmup? Because I started putting together a list of those things. Well, this one actually defaults to easy. You know what? I could use a little easy right now. Sure, why not? This is just a time filler here. Go to net tools. Shatterhand is a side scroller. Ray says where you punch a door. Okay. Good intel. Glad I asked. But the door wins. Hashtag idiots fighting things. Oh, shit. I forgot to hit transitioning. I'm sorry. I resized it, but then the changes don't happen until you click the thing. I forget that sometimes. Right, you get like a suck. Yeah, I forgot you got a suck. This is one of those games where like there are a few different colors of power-up. And then to get better, you have to, like, stack the same color a handful of times in a row. Alright, so here I was saying that, like, this game didn't really add anything, but the suck is pretty novel. Yeah, then you get these guys. I remember green being pretty good. Yeah, green is warming. Still, I think this highlights, like, the high-fidelity Gradius 3 sound, you know? Like... This game's soundtrack, as I've been over, is quite good. But like the sound chip, it sure is trying. That's kind of how I feel about the Genesis sound chip in general. Its heart was in the right place. Not to say, I mean, we all know Genesis had some good music. Rainbow Dragon Eyes is fond of the Genesis sound chip. Doc says, have you tried Hydora? I have not. I haven't heard of that one. It says, I happen to love the YM2612 sound chip, but there's only so much I can do. Yeah. I'm gonna assume that's what the Genesis sound chip is. Similar to the arcade sound chip, as I understand. The Messenger soundtrack, like the 16-bit music, was a lot more Genesis sound chip than it was like Super NES. Super Hydora. Hold on, maybe I'm sorry to pause, but maybe I did try that. No, I haven't tried that one. Looks like my speed though, I might have to, but there was some weird shmup that I have on Steam that I played for a little bit. It seemed interesting. It might actually have come up during one of Vinny's Sunday streams or something. One of those games that is like strikingly weird and yet also kind of surprisingly good. I might have to bunk that on my wish list there. Super Hydora, that looks pretty good. What are you? Oh yeah, you were like a super bomb that I do a shoot with my suck thing, right? I have sucked and now I blow. Oh yeah, there we go. They also did Maldita Castilla, which is a love letter to ghouls and ghosts. Let's see, you're saying a lot of good keywords here. Did you catch any of that Ultimate Ghost and Goblin stream? God, that game was... like, I was kind of hoping to, like, make a Hardcore Friday out of that a little bit. I wanted to see how much I could get into Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins. God damn. That game did everything too hard. It just went go. It goed too much. This guy's a pretty freaky design. I feel like cosmic horror or like flesh monster shit is par for the course for shmups of this era too. Gradius loved those. Yeah, green's a pretty powerful color. Oh yeah, here we go. I love the sentence, "You have no chance to survive, make your time." That's just elegant writing. These are kind of fat ships, that's right. It's just so they could fit all the power in there, so. It is bloated with excellence. Background is a little bit like, evokes Amiga to me a little bit. Doc says in space aerodynamics is stupid. Yeah, I was just saying that earlier. When I was complaining about the Vic Viper starting out like a slug, like, come on, you don't even have air resistance. You should be going faster than this. Criminy. In the intro of the game, we saw you take off like a bat out of hell. Like, I also think this is not an exceptionally long game. Well, I suppose it's about as long as Gradius. Yeah, come on, this zig's faster than a Vic Viper. Yeah, I remember this music track. This is a good one. I guess 3 is as high as the upgrades go. Can I suck you? No. It also looks like, okay, those things I think are passive. I cannot suck them and my seekers do not seek them. They're just walkie robots. Right, I think what's going on here is why I thought of zeroing as not bringing that much to the table, because, I mean, with this weapon's a little bit overpowered. This is kind of just hold the button and win mode here. Oh, I see, that had like a top half until I killed it. I mean, I am on easy mode, but still. Like, my greens are doing all the lifting for me here. Oh god, this is good music. I don't think I even want that upgrade. Yeah, I mean, that's true. I have been playing Gradius on normal, because I'm an absolute maniac. One of these days, I'm gonna do it. It'll be amazing. President of video games will give me a medal. The mayor of Twitch himself will give me a diploma. That actually reminds me, the bosses in the Gradius games are actually called mayors. Like that boss rush stage in the manual is called Mayors on Parade. Just in case you needed another example for how the Gradius lore doesn't make a ton of sense. But it's also, I mean, a textbook case of, do we need lore? Like... Like, here's your Gradius lore. There once was a guy on the left side of the screen who hated everything on the right side of the screen. Thankfully, he was made of lasers. Yep. I should switch color just to mix it up. Hi, Daisy. Maybe right now is not a good time to mix it up. Am I? Yes, these shots are actually like splitting a little bit after I fire them. Yeah, give me laser. Oh yeah, here we go. Trouble now, I got blue power. Yeah, I'm a fan of this one. The music, that is, as I mentioned. It actually might. I was gonna say, does Twitch have like an ADHD like tag? Should probably be using that. I don't know, the thing is I don't have like an official diagnosis of it, I just have every single symptom of it. And it explains virtually everything about my life. Okay, not a fan of this. I'd like to get that diagnosis, maybe even some treatment of some sort, but who has money? Nice. Oh shit, we're not done. Yeah, this game's a little bit more interesting without the green. Double KO. Oh, I'm all the way back. Maybe there's a warp down here. That's heinousy. Alright. Ray says my experience with the pills was a bad one. Highly uneducated opinion here, just like something that I feel like I inferred. This is treating ADHD is probably a lot like treating depression, and that like there's no, you know, cure-all, like everybody needs a slightly different treatment. Like maybe you just got pills that didn't agree with you. You might have needed a different drug. Or maybe you're fine without him. Ray says not even that really, it's also just that the side effects were worse than the symptoms. Yeah. I did have that experience. Also the memory loss. Ugh, I didn't have that. Antidepressants kind of suck. The thing about them is, like, they may work in conjunction with other treatment, but, like, until you've attuned to them, they kind of exacerbate depression symptoms. Like, hey, I noticed one of the principal symptoms of your condition is being fatigued all the time. Well, this may cause fatigue. Doug says we're combinations of therapy, cognitive... Yeah, I mean, you can't really treat either of these conditions with just a pill. Yeah, no, it has to be part of a greater treatment plan. Once again, my scroll to the right and shoot shit stream turns into a pretty heavy conversation topic. Strictly my own fault, I suppose. Does Switch have an oversharing tag? I mean, hey, to be fair, it is called Zeor TV. God, this game's soundtrack is good. Yeah, there we go. Hi, Daisy. I wonder what the term for these not options is. For a ship is a zig, or these zigbits? Ziglets? Well, okay. I looked at chat. That was a bad idea. Was anybody else ever cognizant? This is another one of those just like, did I hallucinate this or was it a real thing? Anybody else know about the game Dinosaurs for Hire? Caesar meme. Oh, you know what? I should be using this thing more. I keep forgetting about it. Like, I hate that, but also, hey, thanks for reminding me. Chris says I have not heard of that. It was like a Contra-esque kind of just scroll and shoot the stuff game. Except with dinosaurs. Like, it was... A friend of mine had that game. It freaked me out because, like, one of the first things you fight is, like, a big boss, and then you, like, explode its arm off, and it has just, like, lava veins that, like, spew everywhere. I'm like, hated that. Remember some other pretty gnarly sprite work in that game, too. Yeah, that one's, like, super obscure. I remember searching for some, like, stuff about it a while ago. Like, there was a time where even the internet seemingly had not heard of Dinosaurs for Hire. Sure, it has a long play now. This was for Genesis, by the way. I think just the sound of the Genesis sound chip made me think of it. Yeah, here we go, extra laser. Hold on, I think I had the level 3 blue already, because I was already... Yeah, alright, so... You do have to stack a few in a row to like, level up your power, but once you are powered, you can switch colors freely. That's good. I do want to try and get Star Fox EX working for next week. Hopefully as easy as just using SNES 9X. I'm sure it'll be like ROM Hank hard, but you know, if that is the case, then hell, it has built-in cheats anyway. I tried searching if anybody just had like a quick setup guide for it, just, you know, figure out how you're supposed to get the 60 FPS thing working and all that too, but no such luck. Like the README that comes with it, I mean, thinks it's a foregone thing that you know how to patch the ROM. Yeah, I don't know. Zeroing. We've more or less... Oh, what is going on here? Nothing, I guess. That looked more hostile than it was. Hi, Daisy. Daisy says beep. Yeah, parts of this game are a little sleepy. Like, it's not the best paced schmoop. For my money, I still kind of think UN Squadron might have been the best one. Like, there's some bias in that. I mean, oh. But I don't know, there was just a lot about UN Squadron that was so good. Alright, I think I might go ahead and wrap this up. That was just a little bit of extra content for you. A little bit of a bonus, because I didn't have time for more Gradius. I was gonna say no new progress on today's Gradius 3 stream, but I did get through the bonus level and find out that there was not much point to it. So, I know. We're still learning. One of these days I'm gonna get you. But hey, thanks a lot for watching and commenting and etc. As always, I appreciate you. I always say it, but I always mean it, damn it. And I will see you Tuesday for more Symphony of the Night. Right? Right. Yeah, have a good one. Actually, I may or may not see you Tuesday. That's right. Next week is Thanksgiving week. Damn it. Stupid holidays. Getting in the way of my video game shit. Alright, well, I'll see you at some point. Have a good indeterminate time period.